All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to volleyball at Owen-Withee High School. We have Owen-Withee versus Colby tonight. It is October 6th, 2020, and we're nearing the end of the season here. Hope this will be a great game for you. I'll be here for play-by-play, and I hope everything goes well. Best of luck to both teams, and we'll pause here for introductions.
Once again, good evening and welcome to Owen-Withee High School. Here are tonight's starting lineups. For the Hornets of Colby, a senior, number 1, Lexi Underwood. A senior, number 9, Trista Meyer. A senior, number 3, Morgan Hockey. A senior, number 2, Emma Peavy. A senior, number 7, Olivia Volrath. A senior, number 14, Brooke Shuko. And the libero, a junior, number 13, Brett Schmidt. The Hornets are coached by Mr. Nathan Larson. For the Owen-Withee Blackhawks, a freshman, number 12, Raina Arts. A junior, number 11, Dakota Shelton. A junior, number 1, Katie Erickson. A senior, number 14, Alexis Nuremberg. A junior, number 3, Alyssa Grafsky. And a junior, number 7, Autumn Bender. The Blackhawks are coached by Anna Gerlitz. In the spirit of sportsmanship and camaraderie, the WIAA asks that all fans act responsibly and maturely to those around you. Vulgar, abusive, or demeaning language or conduct is unacceptable and unwelcome at Owen-Withee. Let's afford the athletes, coaches, tonight's officials, and your fellow fans the respect that they deserve by making this a positive experience for all. Good luck to both teams.
All right, the bout underway here. We'll get everybody lined up, and we'll see what becomes of our match tonight. All right, Colby's libero comes in right away. According to current standings, Colby is 3-1, and Owen-Withee is 1-2. Let's see how the match progresses here. Point right away for Colby. Lexi Underwood back to serve again. Arndt with the bump over to Erickson. Spikes down. Saved by Colby. Big setup for Peavy. A light spike from Peavy lands on the floor and Owen-Withee side. It's 2-0 in favor of Colby. Shelton with the spike that does not get over the net. Makes it 3-1, or excuse me, 3-0 in favor of Colby. Underwood back to curve. Just gets over the net. Arndt sets up Erickson, who gets it over the net. Big block there. Another big block. Big block from Erickson makes a side out. It's 1-3. Owen-Withee gets a side out they're looking for. And freshman Raina Arndt will start off the serve for Owen-Withee. Not returnable from Colby. It's 2-3 for Owen-Withee now. Colby's in the lead. Another unreturnable serve from Arndt. Ties it up at 3. Schmidt over with the bump. That is a net violation there. That's going to be a point for Owen-Withee. Raina was not ready for that ball. 4-3 now in favor of Owen-Withee. Schmidt with the bump. And PV over. Arndt sets up Nürnberger, who gets it in the floor. 5 straight for Owen-Withee now. Arndt back to serve again. To the back row and over. Push over from Grasky makes it a save for Owen-Withee. Big spike from Meyer. And Erickson cannot get it over the net. 5-4 Colby. Volrath comes in for the libero. And we have Meyer back to serve. Arndt sets up Erickson, who gets it just over. Nice little punch from PV. And Colby gets the point. That was a tip-off of Owen-Withee. Colby retakes the lead, 6-5. Nice serve there. Arndt sets up Erickson. And Owen-Withee gets the point. Schmidt comes in for Meyer. Dakota Shelton back to serve. Big spike from Volrath. Grasky with a spike that goes out. Makes it 7-6. Autumn Nelson comes in for Owen-Withee. And Emma Kroll comes in for Colby. And Kroll is back to serve. Bender with the dug. Bender from the back row does not get anywhere. Makes it 8-6 for Colby. Kroll again with the serve. Short serve. Arndt gets it over to Erickson. Goes over to the back row. PV is in. PV is in on the line. That makes it 9-6 in favor of Colby. Kroll again back to serve. Sets up Nürnberger over. Big save from Libero, and a failed save from Owen-Withee. Big save from Schmidt there. It's 10-6, Colby. Nurnberger sets up Grasky, who goes in the net. It's 11-6 now for Colby. Owen-Withee looking for a side out here. Kroll again. Arn sets up Grasky. Gets blocked. Nurnberger up to Grasky, who goes over. Set up for PV. Arn sets up Nurnberger. Schmidt up to PV. Nice dig from Nelson. Nurnberger over to Bender, who gets it over, but it is out. Good rally there. Colby ends up with the point, though. 12-6 for Colby. Arn sets up Grasky, who gets blocked big time. 13-6 now for Colby. Nurnberger gets under it for Grasky. Big spike to Peavy. Gets it over with that. Ooh, big digs, big digs, big digs. Some lucky digs from Colby end up giving them the point. 14-6 now for Colby. Nurnberger goes over, but it ends up out. Makes it 15 for Colby. 15-6. Kroll's had quite a run here. Nurnberger to Eriksson, pushes over. Ooh. Sokol looks like she's okay. Point goes to Owen for that. 7-5. And Eriksson to serve. Grasky with a big one. Grasky with a big spike there. Makes it 8-15 for Owen. I should say Colby's in the lead. 8 for Owen. Volrath gets it over. Owen-Withee's in the net. Point goes to Colby. 16-8. Colby's in the lead. Jump serve. Nurnberger under it for Grasky, who gets a touch off of Schmidt. Point for Owen-Withee. 9-16 now. Colby still in the lead. Nurnberger to serve. Little punch over from Peavy. Nurnberger sets up Grasky. Almost in the ceiling. And Underwood cannot get it over the net. Point for Owen. It's 10-16. Colby still maintains their lead. Nurnberger serving again. Nice setup for Volrath. Gets blocked, but gets it back. Owen-Withee barely gets it over. Nice little touch. Eriksson with the save. Arndt over to Nurnberger and back. Schmidt with a save. Over to Underwood, who gets over. Nurnberger over to Grasky, but Nurnberger gets called for a double touch. 17-10. And libero Brett Schmidt is back to serve. Eriksson up to Arndt, who gets it over. Big, fast save from Owen-Withee. Sorry, didn't get that fast enough. Oh. Underwood spike gets a touch from Erickson. So it is 18-10 now for Colby. We have I know Owen has a couple girls with asthma, so that's a short little break there. Serving the net. It's now 11-18. Colby in the lead. Shelton comes back in for Nelson. Grasky back to serve. Sydney Halita with a little touch over. Makes it 12-18. Grasky again. Meyer with the spike over. Nurnberger with a little push. But gets called for a carry. 19-12 now for Colby. Hockey comes in for Kroll. And we have Sakaho back to serve. Halita over. That's Meyer with a spike, which is out. Makes it 13-19. Bender comes in for Halita, and Bender is back to serve. 13-19. Colby still in the lead. Schmidt. Sorry, I didn't follow that fast enough. No touch from Owen, and goes out. 14-19. From the back row, Nurnberger over to Bender and up to Erickson. Erickson gets it into space. 15-19 now. Colby still maintaining their lead. And I promise I will learn these Colby names as quick as I can. Arndt is out on that spike. Looks like it went around the post there. It's 20-15 now for Colby. Underwood serves. Shelton pushes it over. Big spike from Peavy, who gets the point because Owen cannot return it. 21-15 now for Colby. Erickson over. Schmidt on her knees. Meyer gets blocked and cannot return it. 16-21. Little push from Colby. Nurnberger from the outside cannot get it over. 22-16 now for Colby. Volrath comes in for your libero Schmidt. That's Meyer back to serve. Arndt sets up Nurnberger, who gets blocked. Arndt sets up Erickson, who gets over. Quick little save from Peavy. Volrath gets it over. Erickson with his push and gets blocked, but pushes it back right away. That is just barely out. Volrath's spike is just out. 17-22. Colby maintains their lead. Shelton back to serve. Big block from Owen-Withee in the net. Colby cannot return it. 18-22. Shelton back again to serve. Owen trying to close the gap here. Big spike from Volrath. Oh, no one cannot return it. It's 23-18. Kroll in for Colby to serve, and Nelson in for Owen-Withee. Serving 23. Setting up Gretzky for off the net and off the player. Side out for Owen-Withee. It's 19-23. And we have a sub for Owen-Withee. Sydney Halita coming in for Autumn Bender. Owen trying to close the gap. Erickson back to serve. Goes in the net. Sets up the set point for Colby. Peavy is back to serve it. Big jump serve from Peavy. Nürnberger sets up Arndt from the back. Volrath over. Arndt sets up Halita, gets blocked. And that's the set. All right, we'll take a timeout here. And we'll be back with more volleyball from Owen-Withee in a few minutes. And we're back for the second set. Colby is ahead in the match, 1-0. Raina Arndt to serve for Owen-Withee. A little bump over. Arndt gets called for a double hit. And it's 1-0 for Colby. Underwood back to serve. Arndt sets up Erickson, who goes over and out. 2-0 for Colby. Arndt sets up Nürnberger over. Sucko sets up Meyer. Nürnberger over. Ooh, a touch. Too much to handle. Owen gets a point. It's 1-2. Colby in the lead. Dakota Shelton back to serve. Nice dive. Oh, and it gets over. Fight at the net. Carry called on Colby. It's 2-2 in the second set. Shelton again. Schneider with a pushover. Erickson with the touch. And Erickson's touch goes in to the floor. Owen ahead 3-2. Shelton again to serve. Sucko with a bump over. Bender pushes forward to Erickson, who goes back. Nice dive again from Schmidt. Schneider over. Erickson goes in the net. It was going out anyway. 3-all. Nelson in for Shelton for Owen-Withee. And Meyer back to serve for Colby. Grasky pushes over to the back corner. Peavy with a big hit, which lands on Owen-Withee's side. 4-3 now for Colby. Meyer again back to serve. Nürnberger sets up Grasky, who gets stuck in the net. And Owen cannot push it over. 5-3 now for Colby. Meyer again back to serve. That's an ace for Meyer. 6-3 now. Arndt sets up Bender from the back. Big spike. Nelson saves to Arndt. Grasky with a hit, which Colby cannot return. 4-6 now. Khalida comes in for Bender. And Erickson is back to serve for Owen. 4-6, Colby in the lead. Grasky cannot get it over the net. Side out back to Colby. 7-4. Kroll comes in for Schneider. Kroll back to serve. 7-4 in the second set. Grasky tries to get over again, I should say. Point for Colby. It's 8-4. Kroll had a big rally in the first set. Let's see if she can continue that. Grasky up for Nelson, who just gets under it. That would have been an amazing save had Colby gotten to return that. But no such luck. 5-8 now. Colby still in the lead. Lexi Nurnberger back to serve for Owen. And we have a rotation problem for Colby. Point for Owen. Some clarification for the coach. And Nurnberger again. PV. Nurnberger over to Grasky. Touch off of Colby. It's now 7-8. Nurnberger again back to serve for Owen. Trying to close the gap. That goes over. Arndt sets up Grasky, who goes way out. Colby's point, 9-7 now. PV is back to serve. Jump serve from PV in the face of Autumn Nelson. Owen gets called for a lift. PV again back to serve. 10-7 now. Another jump serve from PV. Nelson can control that one a little better. Erickson over. That one goes quickly out off of Volrath. That makes 8-10. Shelton comes back in for Nelson. Alyssa Grasky back to serve for Owen. Back row hit from Schmidt. And they're calling that going over on the wrong side of the pole. Schmidt is back to serve for Colby. It's 11-8 in the second set. Off the ceiling, Nurnberger controls it to Shelton. Little punch over. Arndt with an unlucky touch that Owen cannot control. 12-8 now. Schmidt again to serve. Ooh, that's going to be rough. And Owen cannot bring it back over. 13-8 for Colby. Schmidt again. Nurnberger up to Halida. Pushes over. The punch goes out. 9-13. Colby still in the lead. Bender comes in for Halida. And Bender is going back to serve for Owen. Second set, 9-13. Colby still in the lead. Suckow sets up Meyer, who goes out. However, there is a net violation. Erickson was in the net, so that's a point for Colby. 14-9. Suckow back to serve. That one goes in the net. 10-14. And Arndt is back to serve. PV sends it up to Schneider over. Arndt sets up Erickson, pushes. Suckow sets up Meyer for his bike. Shelton sets up Nurnberger off the net. Ooh, that's close. Lands on Owen's side. Point for Colby. 15-10. Underwood is back to serve for Colby. That just gets over the net on Colby's side. Makes it 11-15. Shelton back to serve for Owen. PV with the spike. which is out. Just barely out there. 12-15. Shelton is still back to serve. PV spike goes out. 13-15. Shelton again to serve. Schneider over. Nurnberger sets up Gretzky. You go over. Setting up Underwood. Erickson to Gretzky over. Check out a PV who goes into the floor. 14-15. Owen is closing the gap. Shelton again. Schneider over. Owen's block gets trapped by their own players. 16-14. We have Nelson coming in for Shelton on Owen's side. And Schmidt comes out for a short break. Meyer back to serve. Erickson sets up Gretzky over. Sucko sets up Peavy. Off the block and out. That's a point for Colby. 17-14. Meyer again back to serve. Nurnberger over. Big smash from Volrath. 18-14 now for Colby. Meyer again back to serve. Could have been gone its way out and unsure, but Nelson gives it a touch. 19-14 for Colby. Meyer's got a good streak going. The ricochet almost gets saved. 20-14 for Colby. Meyer again. Nurnberger sets up Erickson. Little scramble on that side. Schneider over. Nurnberger ceiling. Nurnberger hits the ceiling on the bump, and it lands on Owen's side. 21-14. Meyer still serving for Colby. Nurnberger over to Bender. Lands in the net. And Owen takes a timeout. It's 22-14. We'll be back in a moment. Back from the timeout. Meyer is still back to serve for Colby. We are waiting on an official at the moment. Checking the books, make sure we're all accurate here. And I think we're ready. All right. All right, 22-14. Colby in the lead. Meyer to serve. Ehrenberger sets up Grasky, who gets it down to the floor. Timeout pays off for Owen, 15-22. Halita comes in for Bender. Erickson back to serve for Owen. PV over. Arndt backwards to Nelson. Volrath with a sweet smash. Kroll coming in for Schneider. Kroll is going back to serve. It's 23-15 in the second set. Colby is nearing the win here. Nürnberger sets up Gretzky. Over to Peavy with a push. And before it even hits the floor, a net violation. It's set point for Colby. 24-15. Can Kroll finish it? Kalita over. It might have gone out, but saved it. Peavy out. Peavy pushes it a little too far. It's 16-24. Nürnberger's got to finish the set. Otherwise, Colby's going to take the second set. And that was short-lived. Colby takes the second game. And we have a break. We'll be back with set 3 in just a little while. back for the third set here. Ericsson's first spike of the set doesn't get anywhere. Colby with the first point of the third set. Ericsson bumps over, luckily. Peavy with the touch. A nice touch from Peavy. Makes it 2-0 for Colby in the third set. Arndt sets up Ericsson with a nice touch over that lands in the floor. It's 1-2. Colby with the lead yet. Arndt back to serve. Schmidt over. Ericsson spikes. Sucko sets up Meyer with a big spike. Nürnberger over. Sucko sets up Peavy with a little touch. And Nürnberger with a double hit. Point for Colby, 3-1. Myers back to serve. Had a great run to finish the set. In the last one, Bender over. Set up for Peavy with a push. Shelton does not get it over the net. 4-1 for Colby. Meyer back again. And that one lands in the net. Schmidt comes in for Meyer on Colby's side. Shelton back to serve for Owen. It's 2-4 in the third set. Huge smash from Volrath. Makes it 5-2. Nelson in for Shelton on Owen's side. And Kroll in for hockey on Colby's side. Kroll back to serve. It's 5-2 in the third set. Colby in the lead. Grasky gets a little too close. Sucko gets blocked big time from Grasky. 3-5 now. Bender gives away to Halita on Owen's side. Kitty Erickson back to serve for Owen. Volrath over. And Grasky with a spike to the back row. Little punch gets blocked. A little awkward from Volrath there. Oh, a mistouch from Peavy. 4-5. Erickson back to serve again. That one goes out. Colby gets 6-4. Peavy back to serve. With her jump serve. Grasky just over. Big smash from Underwood and lands in Owen's floor. 7-4. In Colby's favor. Peavy again back to serve. Off of Nelson's arm there. Makes it 8-4. Peavy again. Little floater from Peavy this time. Little inner battle going on in Owen's side. Peavy with a good streak here. Great dive for Erickson, but goes sideways. 10-4. Strong serving from Peavy here. And of course, as I say that, her serve goes in the net. 5-10. Nürnberger back to serve for Owen. Little ground to make up for them. Little push over. Grasky with a spike. Back row from Peavy. Off the hands and unsavable. It's 11-5 now for Colby. Schmidt, the libero, back to serve. Testing by reach with the camera here. Arndt sets up Grasky from the right side. Ooh, through the ceiling, and that, I'm sorry, I didn't even get that action. My apologies. Shelton back in for Nelson on the one side. Grasky is back to serve. Grasky goes in the net. Hockey coming in for Kroll. And Brooke Suckow back to serve for Colby. 12-6. Halida from behind her almost. Suckow sets up Underwood. Raina Arndt pushes it over with a bump. And Underwood, unfortunately, cannot get it over properly. 7-12 now. Owen still trailing Colby. Autumn Bender back to serve. Suckow sets up Underwood, who cannot get it over the punch. 8-12 for Owen. My apologies. 8-12. Colby still in the lead. Meyer over. Nürnberger to Irons. I thought Erickson was going for that one. Underwood pushes over with a spike. Nürnberger setting up Shelton. Underwood over. Nürnberger pushes it over to Arndt. Into the back corner. Back row spiked from Schmidt. Nürnberger sets up Erickson. Pushes over to the floor. Really nice rally from both teams there. That one goes Owen's way. Bender back to serve. Underwood with a spike that goes into Owen's floor. Side out for Colby. Underwood back to serve. Arndt sets up Shelton, who goes into the net. 14-9, Colby. Underwood again to serve. Arndt sets up Erickson, who goes sideways on her spike, unfortunately. 15-9, Colby. Underwood continues. Bender with a missed touch there. 16-9 for Colby. Underwood again. Arndt over to Shelton, who pushes over. Colby with a few bump saves. Shelton over. Suckow over to Schmidt, who gets it into the net. Point for Owen. 10-16 now. Raina Arndt, freshman, back to serve. First serve goes in the net. 17-10. Schmidt gives way to Volrath. Meyer is back to serve. Just over the net. Arndt sets up Nurnberger, who gets it in the floor. 11-17. Schmidt comes back in for Meyer, who takes a little break. Dakota Shelton back to serve. Suckow sets up PV. And Owen's return goes out. 18-11 now for Colby. Nelson comes in for Shelton, and Kroll comes in for Hockey. Kroll back to serve for Colby. Again, 18-11 in the third set. Colby takes this. They take the match. Arndt over to Erickson in the corner. Suckow over to Volrath, who cannot get it over the net. 12-18. Bender comes out, and Sidney Halita goes in. We have Kitty Erickson back to serve for Owen. 12-18. Thought that was going out, but a touch off of Schmidt. Makes it 13-18. Colby still maintaining a good lead. Again, they win this set, they win the match. Peavy with a big smash, but goes out. 14-18 now. Erickson again back to serve. That one is a missed touch off of Erickson. 19-14 for Colby. Peavy back to serve. Jump serve again. Miscommunication there on Owen's side. Point for Colby. 2014, we've been here before. PV again, jump serve. Goes into the net. 15-20 now. The senior Lexi Nurnberger back to serve. Kroll on her knees. Underwood with a great spike that gets blocked to the side. But Owen cannot get it back over. Schmidt is back to serve for Colby. It's 21-15. If they get four more, they'll take the match. Some frantic moves on Owen's side to try and get the point, which doesn't work. 22-15 for Colby. That hits the post on the net there. That's a point for Colby. 23-15. Schmidt again with the serve. Nurnberger sets up Arndt on the side. Colby cannot return it. 16-23. Shelton coming in for Nelson. We have Alyssa Grasky back to serve. She's got a little work to go. Underwood with a big smash. Sets up the match point for Colby. Hockey in for Kroll. And Brooke Suckow back to serve her hopeful match point. Nurnberger pushes over, and that miscommunication will do it. And that's it for Cloverbell Conference Volleyball here at Owen-Withee. Colby with the win, 3-0 over Owen-Withee. Congratulations to Colby, who moves to 4-1 on the season. Owen is in action on Thursday as they travel to Neelsville for more Cloverbell Conference action. And Colby will host Loyal on Thursday as Loyal comes back from their COVID break, per se. Thank you for joining us tonight for Owen-Withee volleyball. Have yourselves a great night. We'll see you next time.